The price of lumber has fallen more than 40% since its peak in May, and other commodities have followed suit, suggesting that some of the price surges that have alarmed lawmakers and investors this spring may fade with time as the economy returns to normalcy. I think ultimately, this decline was very much inevitable, Sherwood Lumber Chief Operating Officer Kyle Little told Fox Business on Tuesday. When you have over a 400% price move in about a 15-month period of time, the volatility involved with that will lead to price adjustments like we are experiencing right now, he said. $34,000, that's how much the rise in lumber prices added to the price of a new home over the past year, analysts from Bank of America said in a recent report. Price surges across industries have ignited a national debate about whether too much government stimulus spending and overly accommodative Federal Reserve policy has the potential to overheat the economy and cause lasting damage to the recovery. If the gas crisis is a candle flame and lumber prices are a campfire, then growing inflation is a forest fire that has ignited and may eventually burn through our entire economy, Senator Ted Cruz, R-Tex, tweeted earlier this month. Officials within the Biden administration and the central bank have repeatedly emphasized that a short-term spike in prices is to be expected as the economy recovers and will fade over time. The Federal Reserve concludes its two-day meeting on Wednesday, and investors will be watching closely for any clues that the central bank plans to tighten policy and begin withdrawing some of its support for the economy. Many experts expect the Fed to continue to hold the line on interest rates, which have been at near-zero levels since the onset of the pandemic. Even though inflation metrics are high, the pressure is starting to come off, and that leaves investors to say, gee, the Fed is right, the Fed knows what it's doing, and we don't have to worry about the Fed hiking rates too quickly or an inflation problem in this economy, Tom Essaye, a former Merrill Lynch trader, told Bloomberg. It's not all smooth sailing ahead. Transitory inflation is occurring in parts of the market, particularly commodities, as prices for corn, copper and lumber are well off their highs, but housing inflation is a thornier issue for the Federal Reserve, says Danielle DiMartino Booth, CEO and chief strategist of Dallas-based Quill Intelligence. That's because the housing sector accounts for a much larger slice of the economy than commodities. DiMartino Booth says rental prices are likely to be the next inflationary victim, and expects them to surge as large cities reopen. Billionaire hedge fund manager Paul Tudor Jones said Monday that if the Fed does not act soon to address signs of rising inflation, consumer prices rose 5% in May, it's just a green light to bet heavily on every inflation trade.